Hello there, YouTube, and welcome to, I think it was like 54 last night. It is 68 already as of now. It's Monday the 9th of June, and she's supposed to be a barn burner today. I don't think quite as hot as yesterday here, but I think Vancouver is, no, actually they're not going to be as hot as they were yesterday. They were 94 yesterday, Vancouver. We were 92. So who knows what it'll get up to. But anyway, it's Monday, fun day. Let's roll on out to the Southland. See what, hopefully I got more to do than I did Friday. That was pretty scary. So off we go. You know, it's funny. It's been 9 years since they cut this. Well, I guess I can't say that. Look how far them pine trees have gone. It just took forever to get them started. But probably the same thing with Mount St. Helens. And where we've been riding, it's just places I haven't been in a while. Completely shocked at the tree growth.
I know.
But I guess, you know, look at this all along the side of the road. We actually have a shade out here in the afternoon again, which we haven't seen in 9 years.
Yeah.
Nothing like the old growth timber that was sitting there, but oh yeah. By about in the middle of summer at about 5:30, you already had the shade starting to hit your house. You just crack the window, that's it. It's 74 degrees here in Vancouver, all done already.
Gonna be hot.
Yeah, it's gonna be hot. Showing a high of 86. That'll feel warm.
Yeah.
And for some reason, it's always a little higher than what they say it's gonna be.
Yeah. And it depends on who you look at.
Yeah. Well, Mama.
Yes, I have.
I say we going in there and start our Monday and start the work week. It's Monday, all that kind of good jazz.
All right. Sounds
All right.
like a plan.
Going in there and get her done.
All right.
All right. Love you. See you. Bye.
I love you, hubby.
All righty. Bye now. Way better start to the day than Friday. Got a first service on this beautiful 24 F3 Limited. And I have a 18K service on a 2016 GSA. It's sitting on the other side of the police bike. But, you know, I preach this all the time. But, you know, my other little saying is you can lead them to water, but you sure can't make them drink. So you spend all this money on this beautiful machine. Gorgeous. Love they come back out with that cognac color, if they even call it that now. But, so your first service, you're not going to do the best thing possible? I just don't understand how the lifeblood of some wonderful machine like this, you're not going to put the best stuff in there for it. Stuff that is designed for this thing. Normally, I would just refuse that and just have somebody else to do it. But somebody else already refused to do it. And the guy's a waiter, so. Anyway, so here we go. First service with non-OEM stuff. Just don't get it. Absolutely just don't get it. But here we go. We have a GSA to do a service on next. I don't remember what all was involved in the 18K. I literally have to look that up. So on the GSA. So she's all tuned up. Everything came out okay. Nothing wrong. Had to adjust the coolant bottle, which is really rare on the first service. But I don't know if I mentioned, I don't think I mentioned, when I dumped the oil, there's milky, definitely had some moisture in the oil. I don't know if he must be doing short runs with it. You know, maybe over winter he was firing it up in his garage. Never, ever, ever. You have to take this thing for a 9.3 or 15 kilometer ride if you fire it up. So I let it run till the fan cycles several times. And now I'm going to take it for a ride because my ride is shorter than that. Of course, the customer is going to drive away and go wherever he's going. So it should all add up. But never short run these things. There was no milky stuff at the around the dipstick, which it's got to be a lot of moisture because the way it's in that separate tank and how long the tube is and stuff like that. regular dipsticks, you'll see it, you know, ones that are just like on the side of the motor type of thing. But definitely there was condensation in the oil, and it was broke down quite a bit too. That probably due to the condensation. I didn't pay attention. He don't have eco on, does he? Come on now. No. So, yeah. Run them. Don't fire them up in your garage. Let them warm up. That's like 50, 60 years old when you had to do that. Or maybe even longer. That was an old thing my grandpa used to talk about. My grandpa was born in 1909. So, think of the cars he was dealing with. Because, you know, literally the crank would lay and distort the oil seals, and other things would happen. But, you know, the crank seals would leak. They just didn't have the technology. You know, that doesn't happen anymore. The tolerances are much tighter. You know, we use modern oils, tighter tolerances, way better seals and whatnot. But, yeah, and plus they had no emissions. All the crankcase moisture vented out in the atmosphere. This builds up in the crankcase, goes through the air box, right back into your throttle body. So your throttle body is also consuming that moisture. And it takes a minimum of 9.3 or 15 kilometers to burn that out of the crankcase. Like I do here. If I'm not sure, like if I think the guy's going to trailer it out, I don't know what he's doing. So, I mean, while I was doing all my paperwork, it's just sitting there cycling the fan. And, yeah, I want it good and hot. And, so, and remember too, these aftermarket things, they're selling you liters. So oddly enough, BRP goes by quarts. So there's 947 or something like that cc's to a quart. So a liter has 1.056 or 57 quarts to 1 liter. So when you're putting 5 liters in there, it's not the same as putting 5 quarts. I mean, I barely nicked that 6 liter of oil he had in there to get it to the top. So anyway, let's take it for a ride. She is a beauty. I think I don't know what I called it, but Cognac was the color. Did I call it Cognac before? If I didn't, I apologize. It's called Cognac. And yes, it is, once again, using that same name. They didn't change anything. That's a beautiful color. I love the flat looking black top case it has on it. Oh, he's put the BRP. He uses BRP stuff. Dude, use the BRP oil change kit. You can even buy it online. You can get these things. Did I just see a spider getting dropped off out there? That's never a good sign. But anyway, let's go for a quick rip. I think I'm gonna have to go around to get past that truck. Park brake. Pretty sure I will. Maybe not. Maybe the spider's in the way. Yeah, I can get past him here. Just barely. Ooh, flat tire. That's never good. You see it do a wheelie? Ooh, in your dreams. Even if you wanted to, the spider would go, nope. I was pretty convinced when I was riding that demo, because I know you can go, you can catch air, and she feels like she was going to fly a few times. Especially after I put the BRP acro muffler, slip-on muffler, get some miles on it, that thing breaks in, and wow, that thing ran good. Holy moly. She was a ripper. Got that daggum white dash going on. And they purposely set that because it normally out of the crate it's an auto, so it goes white in the sunshine and black in the dark. I'm not going to mess with this one. His firmware and everything was up to date. Oh, still got to look. Even though they've got a constant red, that don't mean they're not going to just fly right through it. So yesterday, for whatever reason, I must have accidentally hit the stop record on my iPhone. I walked away and forgot my Action 5 Pro when we went walking down to the Coldwater Lake. But anyway, we're sitting there and this something's wrong when the GoPro makes this crazy sound, or it just does this beep 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 beep, this long beep. And I'm like, what the heck? Well, it was overheated. I thought, man, and it was like a 23-minute clip that I had. We looped around, or we went down to the like the visitor side, and then on the other side is the boat ramp side. And we pulled in there. I cut it out. This car that was following us cuts through the parking lot, weaves through cars, and almost hits Kelly and I to get into one of those shaded parking spots. And yeah, there was a few not nice words from both Kelly and I, because I kind of seen it coming and Kelly didn't, so it scared her. And yeah, not the best of language spills out of her when she gets PO'd when somebody does something that stupid. I had to talk her off the edge of the cliff from going over there and giving them an earful. I mean, you're out here visiting a national monument and you go do stupid stuff like that, especially around motorcycles. But anyway, so when I was editing the video, I was still going, man, that's only 23 minutes. I know it was hot out, but it was actually like 80, 81 degrees there at Coldwater Lake, so it was actually cool. So even if it was running, shouldn't have overheated. So then I go to edit. Well, when you do that quick capture, like I have it in now, I hit the button, it stops the video and powers down. And then when you boot back up, you just hit the record button, it wakes it up and starts recording. But there is a delay for the audio, and it kind of makes this, I don't know if it's because I have the mics wired in. Even the Action 5 Pro has the same delay, but it makes a really loud screeching sound before the microphone, the Bluetooth microphone connects. Well, the GoPro kind of does the same thing. It has this like staticky sound. So I'm noticing as I'm going clip to clip to clip, when I started that camera before we left to go up there, I hit the power button and boot it up and reach my finger in there and then tap the mic inside the helmet to make sure you see the volume thing. I just did it just a minute ago before I took off when I hooked it up again. Well, I realized there's no delay and there's no kind of scratchy connection sound, nothing. So when I turned that camera on, literally in our bedroom before we took off, just to show you how long these new batteries in these Hero 13s last, that whole ride, we took a lunch, did all that stuff. I never realized the camera was on the whole time. So I must have my auto shut off set to never, obviously. But on that last clip when we stopped and went walking down to the deal, that was my problem. I never shut it off, and I think that 23 minutes of constant running at 5.3K was a little too much in that heat. So it was an overheat warning. That thing was so hot, I was looking to see, and I had to like skip over the rear screen. It was that hot. I literally don't know how these things don't just melt. That's crazy how hot that thing was. And oddly enough, I still had 25% battery, even though it had been on and all that heat. It's crazy. These things are actually quite warm, even when like I take these little rips, and they're warm. A lot warmer than you think they'd be. But I never have overheat problems. I never just do a long record like that, or just leave the thing on. You know, I'm used to the old GoPros that you had to be battery savvy, and that was one of the main reasons that I used the quick capture thing. Some of the early ones could be a little buggy doing that. I think even this one, that might have been the 12. I don't think I've had literally anything ever happen with this 13. I mean, the menus are slower and very GoPro-ish like, which is perfectly fine until you play around with those Action 5 Pro. The menu's kind of quick, a little more intuitive, and the quick capture is a lot quicker too. You hit the button and like in a second or two you're recording, or these have that little delay and stuff, but I'm used to it. Don't even think about it. I go from one to the other and I just know one works different. It doesn't matter to me one way or the other. I just like the low light capabilities of the Action 5, but because GoPro didn't literally hardly do anything to the 13 other than make it just absolutely bulletproof, and a much longer lasting battery. They've been flawless. They just have that same, I think it's the processor they've had for a while. I think it's the same processor they came out with in the Hero 10 or something. But they're not sitting around letting DJI and Insta360 catch up, especially when they do all their influencer things. I still love the one that carried on. I just can't use the GoPro anymore because it makes my neck sore. It's just so heavy. Dude, the weight difference is so minor, you literally have to use a gram scale to see the difference. That's just pure laughable. And now they're using the Insta360. Now that is a brick of a camera. That is a heavy camera. It just depends on who's paying the bills that video, I reckon. If I ever, as you guys know, if I ever get sponsored something, I let them know up front. If there's something I don't like, I'm not going to stick to some script and just, ignore the problems if it has problems, I'm going to point it out. I appreciate you loaning me one to use. But those guys are in different things, they're under contract thing, they get paid big bucks to advertise those things. They get sent places and all kinds of crazy things. I'm just an old boy that does daily vlog. I get a lot of offers for stuff, but so much of that stuff is like from these Chinese places. I'm a little scared of them. I'm not sure if they're gonna steal information from me or whatever. I don't know, they just look really sketchy. Especially when they accidentally grab my other channel, or purposely grab my other channel that I haven't posted to in quite a while, and give me the whole song and dance. We love your videos, we love the impact you have on your viewers, and yada yada yada. It's like, yeah, you ain't know what you're talking about, because I haven't posted there in I don't know how long. Somebody messed up and hit the wrong button on that gate, and I gotta walk out here in the heat and fix it. Yep, that is definitely a flat front tire on that Spyder. That'll get you on the tow hook. I love the reverse on these things. Just rock the throttle forward and hit the back button like you're going into reverse, and it just goes. Oh yeah, forget these have the cameras too. Oh wait a minute, 24s didn't have the cameras. You had to put the cameras on. All right, that'll be it. Oh, now the gate closed. Somebody might have just walked through or drove through. But she's a beauty. Man, does that Cognac shine out here. Holy moly. She is a beauty. Dang. Alright. So here's my 2016 R1200 GSA. It's in for an 18K service. Fiasco with all the parts. He dropped it off Sunday and had non-BMW people looking up BMW parts. I have no drain plug washer. I have 2 sealing washers that I have no idea. BMW, I have no idea where they go on the bike. Completely unfamiliar looking washers that don't know what they fit. And then the O-ring for the bevel gear drain, you only replace that if it gets nicked. If it's been through us here, I put some grease on there that keeps it nice and alive. But you are supposed to replace the fill. It's a brass washer. Have 2 of those for some reason. Yeah. And then they sold him that crazy $75 diff oil that it doesn't need. It just needs the old bottle stuff. I mean, if you want to put the new stuff in there and spend all that money, more power to you. And what scares me is it's like water. It literally feels like it just pours out like water. That's, even though this is 7580 or 7590, I'm sorry. You can hear it's very liquidy. But yeah, that's a whole lot cheaper. So I had to swap that out. The 1300s all the new stuff, and the R18s all require that. But these diffs, it's one thing the diffs didn't, or bevel gear never had a problem. I mean, obviously somebody's probably had a problem with something there, but the drive shaft, that was the issue with these things. And even that was like amazingly few and far between. I would say probably 98% passed the test. And then I think it's every 30,000 miles you BMW will replace it. But we're not a dealer anymore, so I can't do that. So here's that breakout that was supposed to be here Thursday. It also got dropped off Sunday. And the customer's complaint was it's got a new battery in it, and all it does is click. And so I get it down here, and all it's doing is the alarm lights are flashing. Good thing it doesn't have the siren put in it. It's just flashing, and the fob will not react. So I pull the seats off. I test the battery. Battery's in good shape. Could use a little charge. It's the health is about 85%. It seems odd for a new battery. I didn't pull the battery all the way out. It's probably some aftermarket one. But anyway, like a non-UASA or Excite. So I can't. The battery's good. Connections are good. They're tight. Everything's clean. This puppy should hunt. So I look for the fob antenna, which is sitting right there underneath the seat. It's good. No damaged wires. Doesn't look like it's been hanging out of its thing and banging around underneath there and killed itself. So maybe the fob battery's dead. So I'm not getting it to even turn on. Because the dash will tell you, say low bat if it's got a low fob battery. Well, anyway, let's just pull the thing apart, see what it's got in there. Well, it had these take a 2032 battery, same as BMW's, and it has a 2016 battery in there, which is like half the thickness, And, you know, with the cover open, you know, one side's got all electronics and the other side has a little connector because, you know, it's going to make a connection when you put the thing together. So it's got a connector for the positive side, and then of course the negative side touches little fingers in the you know, where the electronics are. The battery's in there backwards. It's negative side down. There's no way it could have ever worked. And it's so thin, I mean, it literally just fell out of there when I opened up the cover. So I went upstairs and got a 2032 BMW battery, and I got another one, my clock, you know, that goes out every 6 months. And I mean, right on time, it went out every 6 months. But the BMW batteries in there last a year. So it was last year when I replaced that battery. And anyway, I got one for myself, and I got one for this to get the fob. Put the fob battery in there, powered the thing up, hit the starter button, boom. She was waiting to go. And when he put the battery in there, he didn't connect his tender lead, so I reconnected all that and wired it correctly. It looked like it was kind of in a, you could tell by the bites in the wire, it was getting pinched by stuff. But anyway, it's all fixed. Fires up and runs. So his other request was do an oil change. So 103 twin cam, balance motor. You know, it's got the twin balancer. I have 3 quarts. Pretty sure it takes more than 3 quarts. And usually when a Harley customer says they want an oil change, they usually want a 3-hole oil change. Unless they specifically say, I want the engine oil and filter changed only. If you just say oil change, that usually means all 3 holes. So I've got all the specs and manuals for these things. I need to see what the specs are and find out what oil and have him call the customer and see if he wants. I'm sure, and I thought this was the truth too, till I watched a bunch of reviews. High flow oil filters rate one of the highest in quality and in filtration, and they're very friendly priced. You can get them in chrome or black, and then there's another one I like to use. It's called something that's even a higher quality one yet. Absolutely no fear using a high flow filter. Look at the reviews, you'll see. But that's it. Well, hello there, YouTube. Nice warm drive home. Air conditioner the whole way except for about the last mile or two. You can see it go uphill, and the air conditioner drags the car down a little bit. So
I just shut it off.
Just shut it off. But I didn't have to open up the windows. It stayed cool in the car all the way up.
That's good.
Probably because the air conditioner was on all the way home. I don't know. I'd hate to think what the temperature was inside that car. That was crazy. You jump in there and it's dang. You drive along for a little bit with the windows all the way down and trying to evacuate that heat before you turn the air conditioner on. But we made it home. Mm-hmm. Only, 90? I think I've just made it to 90. I don't think I've ever seen it any higher than that at work.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know what it did here. It's a little bit less than that. But anyway, Monday's done. We just got 4 more days for the next weekend.
Yes.
With that, we'll roll.
Alrighty. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. We really do appreciate it. We will talk to you tomorrow. Same smoke time, same smoke channel, same smoke time. Don't forget to give a thumbs up. You guys have a wonderful Tuesday or Wednesday.
All right.
It was a long day. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. It was wild. No time I came up there, they were nuts. But they got a little spider crawling on me.
Uh-oh.
Got one new parts person.
He seems like a really nice kid.
Good. Does he look like he's going to learn fast?
Yeah.
Good. All right.
All right.
See you in the morning.
We'll see you then.
Thanks for watching now.
Bye.
Bye-bye.